in a lot of ways, I don't really have a soul. Scam Sam said he doesn't have a soul. Absolutely insane and spot on. What's going on, guys? So this week is very, very exciting because, of course, we have Caroline Ellison. Potentially her testimony starts Tuesday. So today, Monday, some details came out in the court documents that were shown, all concerning Caroline Ellison. Some juicy, some spicy stuff. So let's see what came out in court today. Sam Bankman Fried has been on a blame game ever since the collapse, and most of that blame has been specifically on Caroline Ellison. The poor girl kind of starting to have a soft spot for Caroline Ellison. And it's not just her nerdy glasses. So today, court documents were shown a bunch of writings that Scam Sam did. A lot of it concerning Caroline Ellison. Very important, of course, because he blames most of it on Alameda Research, which was being run by Caroline Ellison. Anyway, so apparently he wrote this to his male colleagues, which were getting paid tremendously huge amounts compared to Caroline Ellison. I found that a little... So in a document dated in September of 2022, Bankman said that Caroline Ellison made a critical error. Scam Sam said these kinds of errors happen when he's not actually running the show. That's talking about Alameda Research being run by Caroline Ellison. And that demonstrates the level of engagement, the level of control that Sam Bankman Fried was displaying while running FTX, and even telling Caroline Ellison what to do with Alameda Research, which of course he owned. The key point of this court document is to show the level of engagement that Sam Bankman Fried was having in running the crypto scam, the crypto show. Now this is interesting because of course Sam Bankman Fried, Scam Sam, has been playing the blame game with Caroline Ellison, including leaking documents to the New York Times, essentially trying to PR his argument against Caroline Ellison. I believe she testifies Tuesday, possibly Wednesday. Really looking forward to that. Here's a copy of the document. Number 2, it said the current Alameda leadership is good, but not good enough to trust with such a big operation. Interesting. 2A, saying that the fact that we didn't hedge as much as we should have, a loan costs more in enterprise value, the finance term, than all of the money Alameda has ever made or ever will make. And that's the kind of critical mistake Scam Sam thought would be made if he's not actually running the show. Interesting. So he wants to bet so much of customer funds, a hedge, that it would make so much money, it would make so much more money than Alameda ever would have made. Pretty interesting. Man, this guy was about taking big, giant risks with, of course, customer money. Imagine that. That's what this whole case is about, isn't it? Anyways, 2B, he says, Caroline is not a natural leader and probably never will be. Ouch. Then why the hell was she at Alameda Research as the head? Anyways, 2C, he says that she's also unhappy at Alameda and is doing it because she thinks it's important. Pretty interesting. She would be unhappy. I wonder why. I still suspect she was put in place because kind of an inexperienced young girl, and therefore it was a lot easier to hide some of the wrongdoings. It just makes sense. The prosecutors should make that argument. Number 3, he goes on to say the culture is mediocre at best because people don't want to come into the office, there's a brain drain, and they're losing good people. Probably, maybe because some of them knew what the hell was happening behind the scenes. Number 4, he says, in the current environment, capital is really expensive. That's when crypto was coming back down after the whole crazy bull run during COVID years, saying there's not many borrowers and lenders left, which of course is how shuffling money around is how they make the money. And finally saying that the amount of money being handled by Alameda is basically the only thing preventing it from being shut down, and that Caroline Ellison was not good enough to trust in winding it up. Winding it up because at some point, Scam Sam thought it would be a good idea to shut down Alameda Research. But then he went against this idea because it would be a bad PR stunt, thinking that possibly it would erode trust in FTX and of course also FTT, the crypto token by FTX. On top of the whole PR hit, as you can see, claimed at number 1 reason, PR. Very important as effective altruism. Anyways, apparently a local competitor in the Bahamas, Modulo, was, something that Scam Sam was aspiring to because, I don't know, I guess the culture was better. Leadership. Well, I mean, who put Caroline Ellison there? Now here's where it gets a little bit unfair. Let's put it that way. Now, of course, they're all crooks, but kind of feel bad for Caroline Ellison, mainly because the court papers, they show that she was getting paid the least amount of money compared to the other crooks. No honor among thieves, as they say, right? Apparently FTX founders and top staff got over $3 billion, not just in payments, but also in loans. They were loaning themselves money, which in a loan, it's tax-free. Pretty interesting. For example, Caroline Ellison got a salary of $6 million 1 year compared to, this is nuts, compared to $587 million for Nishant Singh. $587 million compared to $6 million. Gary Wang, for that year, he got paid $246 million. He was compensated very well compared to the $6 million from Caroline Ellison. And Scam Sam walked away with $2.2 billion. Caroline Ellison, $6 million. Oof. Now we've all heard of the gender pay gap, but that is one hell of a pay gap. Insane. Caroline Ellison was known to be very cautious in terms of running Alameda Research. Remember that some of her personal diaries were shown, made public. She wasn't feeling comparatively advantaged or well suited. Written in February 2022, she says she had been feeling pretty unhappy and overwhelmed. That sometimes at the end of the days, she could not wait to go home and turn off her phone. Have a drink and get away from it all. Caroline Ellison, boozing it up, just to put up with running Alameda Research and put up with Scam Sam. And there's some juicy details regarding Caroline Ellison that came out in the book written by Michael Lewis. He went on the whole 60 minutes to basically push his book on Scam Sam. Pretty interesting stuff, some of it pretty juicy. For example, apparently after the breakup with Scam Sam, Caroline Ellison completely cut off all communication with Sam. She wrote in her diary, "I felt pretty hurt, rejected. Not giving you the contact you wanted was the only way that Caroline Ellison could regain some of her power. The power dynamics were obviously a little off. Scam Sam is paying these guys hundreds of millions of dollars and himself billions. She's running all of Alameda Research, only pulling in $6 million bucks. Ouch." Anyways, according to Michael Lewis, apparently Scam Sam gave a list to Caroline Ellison, it almost seemed like he was trying to dissuade her from getting in a relationship with him. So he gave her a list of pros and cons. Pretty funny. Apparently this list was a memo written in 2018 of why Caroline Ellison should stay away from Scam Sam. Maybe it would have been a good move. But this is all according to Michael Lewis, so take that however you may see fit. Anyways, in the cons section of the list, he wrote, "In a lot of ways, I don't really have a soul." Scam Sam said he doesn't have a soul. Absolutely insane and spot on. Going on to say there's a pretty decent argument that my empathy is fake. My feelings are fake. My facial reactions are fake. I don't feel happiness. Scam Sam wrote all that. Going on to say, what is the point of dating someone who you physically can't make happy? What does that mean? I guess Scam Sam was not the best lover. Anyways, he said, "I feel conflicted about what I want. Sometimes I really want to be with you. Sometimes I want to stay away at work for 60 hours straight and not think about anything else. Except, of course, there's billions, right?" Then he said, "I'm worried about power dynamics." That makes sense. "I make people sad, even people who I inspire. I don't really make people happy." This is all from Scam Sam. "And people who I date, it's really harrowing." Then he continues on, "It regally sucks to be with someone, A, you can't make happy, B, doesn't really respect anyone else. What? C, is consistently thinking really offensive things. What? D, doesn't have time for you." That's okay. Busy, that's understandable. E, wants to be alone half the time. But what the hell is Scam Sam writing? Saying he doesn't really respect anyone else and saying he's constantly thinking really offensive things. Pretty bizarre. Funny enough, also on the cons list, he says this combo is really bad with the whole effective altruism show that he's supposed to be. Interesting. And that in some ways it's adjudicating, meaning it is absolutely true. Basically, that he's a soulless jerk. And apparently he knows that. So apparently that was the con list as to reasons why Caroline Ellison and Scam Sam should not. But on the pros list, according to Michael Lewis, he simply said, I really like you. That he really liked talking to Caroline Ellison. That he's a lot less worried about saying what's on his mind, and he feels comfortable communicating with her. Now what's interesting is he says Caroline Ellison in his pros list, he says that she is a good person, that she's smart and impressive, that she has good judgment and is not full of maybe she wasn't as much of a crook as Scam Sam. And according to Michael Lewis, Caroline Ellison was okay with the list. And, you know, they dated for 2 years, despite the pro and con list. That was a very serious con list. A couple of lines written by Michael Lewis regarding the relationship that were a little interesting, to say the least. He said Sam wanted to do whatever at any given moment, whatever offered the highest expected value. And in his estimate of her expected value, apparently those expected values seemed to peak right before that and plummet right after. Oh, Scam Sam. Scam Sam was not much for post-coital snuggles. Doesn't sound like much of a romantic guy. Anyways, Michael Lewis goes on to say, on the other hand, Caroline Ellison wanted a conventional love story with a very unconventional man. And now, this week, she's about to testify against Scam Sam. Absolutely crazy. But just because Scam Sam is a soulless jerk doesn't mean he stole billions and billions of dollars. But it certainly looks that way. I'm super excited about Caroline Ellison testimony. Absolutely will make a video or two about that. All right, guys, well, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash the like if you haven't. Please do subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.